Dixon invites you to splash in our community.
Welcome to my community.
When did you build this bridge?
The bridge we have now is pretty easy, but it was built in 1984, and it's called a lift span. You know, the whole road lifts up. And when it first opened, they did have some difficulty with getting it up, and well, they still have difficulty, but it's called a lift bridge. And the one we had was a span bridge, or the first bridge was built in 1928. And so before that it was wooden, but in 1928 we got the drawbridge, what we always call it. And we always call it the big bridge, you know. That's what it was said when I was a boy coming up. Go down to the big bridge, but it was, to us, it was a big bridge, and it was a drawbridge. Both sides opened up. So that's, it was built in 1928 up until 1984, and then they put this bridge here.
Who was Rustin Polk named after? And why?
Mr. John Ralston donated the park. He signed it over in 1959 to the city of Bayou La Batre. One of the things he said in it was he wanted people to have fresh water. He wanted people to have access to the bay. He wanted the populace, or the everyday citizen, to have a place. And that's why when we run the park today, you don't make reservations. If you want to go to the park, you go to the park, and if you're fortunate enough to get a gazebo, that's your place. So we don't make reservations. It's a city park. The city maintains it, keeps the grass cut, works on the plumbing and water system. But we remember what, in 1959, he wanted everyone to have access to the park.
When you're finished building the boat, how do you move it?
After we moved the vessel in place, we set it up for the launch. You saw pictures earlier of the boat in launch position. Well, the launch is a very, very exciting day for all of us around here. So I'm going to show you another video of an actual launch that just took place just a couple of weeks ago. So get ready for the fun.
What kind of boats do you build?
Good morning, students from this Westbrook's class. My name's David Rice, and I work for Master Boat Builders. Master Boat Builders is a shipyard located in Coden, Alabama. We build a variety of steel-hulled workboats. We've built many different types, from shrimp boats, which most of you are familiar with, to offshore supply vessels, to tugboats. Today you'll be seeing some tugboats and some offshore supply vessels that I'll be showing you. We'll talk about this construction and how to build a boat.
What happened to the shrimp boat?
When I was in school, we went down there on a field trip and worked on it. The shrimp boat was wood, and it was salvaged before. There was a lot of maintenance to it, and being a wood boat, it began to deteriorate, and there was a lot of liabilities there. So eventually they poured cement around it, but it just couldn't hold it because the woodwork out in the sun and the weather, it was a big maintenance problem, and it was a problem with the wood deteriorating because the boat was old. It was painted up and it had City of Bayou La Batre, but it was still an old vessel. That's what happened to it. It was just got to be so in such a state of repair that they had to get it out there.
We built this lighthouse at this restaurant.
The Storks, who are the current owner of the lighthouse, purchased the building and the business in 1979, right before Hurricane Frederick. The current sign that is outside with a lighthouse was put up in 1982 or 83. And then we have a mural painted on the outside of the building that was painted in 2002. And we also have one inside, which was painted by a family member of Jenny Sue Stork, her cousin Verna.
How do oysters grow?
According to what I have read, oysters grow by releasing larvae into the water. The larva then wraps itself around calcium that it already carries, and then it develops by attaching itself to the oyster shells that the responsible fisheries have redeposited into the Gulf and the surrounding river areas.
What's your favorite place to eat?
Lots of fine places to eat, but I have a connection with the just goes back to my teenage years with the Catalina restaurant. They serve a good meal, and so does the other ones. It's just about, it's a matter of priority that's why I go there, because I know the people that run it, and I'm always greeted, you know. So that's the Catalina's our place to go when we go out.
What's your favorite memory?
Hello, Miss Westbrook's class. I'm Martha Peak, Superintendent of the Mobile County Public Schools. One of my favorite memories was growing up in Bayou La Batre and going to school at Alba School and learning to read in first grade. I was so excited to learn to read words and then sentences and books, and then be able to choose books that I liked and be able to read them to myself, to my friends, and to my family. I also loved growing up in Bayou La Batre and living on Little River Road, where I had lots of cousins that lived along the road. Then a very special memory about being in our community was being principal at your school, Dixon Elementary School, where there were wonderful boys and girls, and some of those people are now your grandparents and some of your parents. And Mrs. Westbrook was a teacher when I was there also. Dixon's a very special place, and I hope that you'll have good memories from Dixon, from where you're living, and all the things that you do. And I also hope that learning to read will be a good memory for you, and that you'll remember all the special things that you've done in school. Keep learning and keep enjoying being in your very own community. Goodbye.